Right, I'm back with a new Destiny 2 video, and today I wanted to do something that I tend to do partway through most seasons, is kind of just go through my favorite weapons of the season, which may not necessarily be new weapons from this season, but weapons that are just kind of proving to be good this season. A lot of them will be weapons from this season. These are not necessarily all like best in slot, whatever, for all activities. And I am missing some, namely most of the good raid weapons, so just assume that I would really like Rufus's Fury if I had a Rufus's Fury. Also, who wants to raid with me to get a Rufus's Fury? Anyway, I will go through each class because I have most of my good ones stuck on these classes, and I just switch them between each other. You know, I have different loadouts, but you can't pull things between characters, so a lot of these things end up missing, unfortunately. And that is one system that needs to be corrected. So I'll just go through each slot here. Okay, so we'll start with the Immortal. This is my PvE Immortal, actually. This is the one that I farmed as a good enough version for PvE. I also have a target lock one for PvP, which is good, obviously. I try not to be one of those people who just runs around in Iron Banner or whatever using the Immortal. But this one, I don't know if I necessarily like this more than the other SMG, the Nyamuna one, just because aggressive frames and their limited magazine size in PvE never feel amazing to me outside of maybe like the Akilos. It does have field tested, it does have high stats, so it is obviously very good, and I have been using it, you know, at least a little bit, but I do kind of like the other one as well. I forget which character that's on. Ostiostriga, this is what carried me through Legendary Campaign, really on all classes, but obviously this is a key part of the Suspend Warlock build where you're just poisoning everything, and this is, I have this one saved here, but you're just poisoning everything and then spreading more poison with Necrotic Grips, and then you're consuming your grenade to make sure all that stuff also suspends. One of the strongest kind of clearing builds in the game, and I used this for a long time, but I got a little tired of using it. I was using it so much, so I stopped. I'm still trying to find like my favorite weapon with kinetic tremors. It might be the Battle Scar, not this one, and not one of my hung juries, which I have around somewhere. Kinetic tremors is good. It is just very hard for me to justify a kinetic primary still, because so many builds rely on you having a weapon of a certain subclass that usually will have some sort of subclass ability attached. Like everyone wants a hatchling, you know, strand weapon. Everyone wants a, I'm forgetting all the words now. Destabilizing rounds void, a volt shots arc, and an incandescent solar. Like it is hard to turn those down a lot of the time. So it's, even though this is a new kinetic perk and it's good, especially for like barrier champions, like the kinetic tremor aftershock is really good on them. It's a bit hard to justify in a lot of builds. This is Riptide right now is one of the best weapons in the game because it can stun 2 champions at baseline with no mods because of slow and freeze. And then if you have this on a solar build and it's radiant, you can also pierce anti-barrier. I have Revision 0 out because I'm filming this before all of the crazy buffs happen next week, and Revision 0 is getting some huge buffs. In addition to kind of generic pulse rifle buffs, it is getting specific buffs that are just for it as well, and for a huge buff to its 2 bursts. So I'm very curious to try this out, which is why I have it out. I have Fatebringer out, it's not even leveled yet, but I want to try this after the hand cannon buff. Not the biggest fan of round robin. 120s in PvE obviously feel terrible. I don't know if a 20% buff is going to be enough for this. I do like getting, you know, 2 rounds back on subsistence kills, but besides that, yeah, I don't know if that's going to be a big pick. This is the Eclipse Distaff, which is probably the seasonal weapon I've been using, or the ritual weapon I've been using the most, because they're really kind of duds usually, but I like Replenishing Aegis, which reloads your weapon from reserves. I like Destabilizing Rounds. I don't know that this is necessarily like the best glaive in this spot. I've also been, you know, back to using the Enigma a fair amount. But it's good enough, and glaives are unstoppable this season, so that's good. This, of course, Hero's Burden with Destabilizing Round. This was a big thing to farm in Iron Banner. I did not get the Feeding Frenzy one because I got this, and I thought this was good enough, and it has Flared Magwell, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to keep farming Iron Banner because it's Iron Banner, and I'm sick of it. So I did focus this borrow time for PvP with rangefinder, tap the trigger. I don't know, it seems fine. This is what a lot of people are going for Gambit is some variant of this because it now has field tested one of the best origin traits. Here I have farmed up a good amount of circular logics, the Strand machine gun. This has Envious Assassin Hatchling. I have a Feeding Frenzy Hatchling one. This is for really this is my whole setup for Threadlings as opposed to the Osteostriga one. So I've been using this a lot. Certainly one thing I've been using a ton this season is Commemoration. I do not have a great Commemoration with the new Bray Inheritance role. I freaking hate Redirection, but I really do like Dragonfly on this. It is, because you're using this for so much mob clear, the ability to get Dragonfly procs like really easily on red bars, it just shatters like entire legions of enemies, which I actually find that really fun. And in something like the seasonal activities, the battlegrounds, if you have, I don't have it on right now, but if you have Shatter Orbs on with all of the Void Shields acolytes, taken acolytes, that appear like dozens at a time, you can have, it's probably the most orbs I've ever seen generated is breaking all of those shields. You can do it with any Void weapon, but with Commemoration especially, it's just sort of hilarious. No, that sword's not great. I have other swords I like more. I've been using Linear Fusions like a little bit. They didn't get like totally nerfed into the ground, and Grenade Launchers certainly did not get buffed enough to replace anything. Thunderlord, obviously great. I've been liking Deterministic Chaos. I don't have a ton of kills on it, mostly because I'm shooting like bosses and things with it, but just, I mean, having a guarantee weaken on any subclass is just very good, but I can understand if you wouldn't want to use that in your exotic slot. So that is everything on my Warlock. We will go to my Titan, who has, of course, one of the greatest weapons of all time and my current favorite exotic, Wishender. Nothing has changed with Wishender. It's just an extremely, extremely good exotic. I don't use it all the time, but anything with like that's moderately hard with champions, aka Nightfalls, this is what I'm using. Like it's so safe because you're so far and you can do so much damage with it, and you're piercing barrier shields in one shot. It's one-shotting red bars. It's doing good damage on bosses and champions at baseline. It is incredible after the buffs they did a few seasons ago, and continues to be incredible. And it doesn't even have a catalyst yet, so God help us when it gets that. This is, so I really do like another. I guess I didn't realize this is also Under Pressure Hatchling, the same as my other one. Precision frame I do like on this. I like the Nanocheck Tracer rockets, especially because you can also buff those up with the Artifact mod this season. What else is in here? I've been using my One for All Prolonged Engagement. Like, I have some stasis builds going on for Titan, so I use that here. This is my Battle Scar. I really like this. This is the Kinetic Tremors one that feels the best because it also has field tested on it. Just feels really good. I hear the Shoot to Loot's Kinetic Tremors is the one because the Tremors pick up ammo, and then with the coming change to, it's not like Seeker Wells, but it's spawn, like there's a collection radius. Apparently Kinetic Tremors will pick up those orbs, like so that's cool. And do not like Perpetualis. It sucks. I'm waiting to see after the 25% buff if it might be more useful, but obviously Rufus Fury is clearing away the better Strand version. I think some people use this in PvP, but I don't like it. I do like this bow. I've had a lot of fun with this bow for stasis stuff, although we have the stasis exotic bow, which is probably empirically better, but I do like a good Archer's Tempo headstone. I think this is the first craftable bow that could get Archer's Tempo and headstone. Not that those bonuses do that much. Noble Deeds is an interesting perk for the Queen's Guard weapons because it's really active like all the time, and it gives you bonus handling, I guess reload speed, but handling is more important on a bow. I've been using the Enigma, classic glaive, level 69 now, so that's fun. I really like Vexcalibur, especially on Titan, especially with like Syntheseps. I have not gotten the Catalyst yet. I still haven't done Legend Avalon because it seems like such a nightmare. But even at baseline, I just really like it as is. The Overshield, even if you have a little bit of the Overshield and you kill something, it fills it completely, and you're getting all this bonus melee damage. Such a good weapon. I am going to invest in this more and get all this stuff by the end of the season. I just haven't yet. Trust, have farmed up a lot of trusts. This one I like, Explosive Payload Outlaw. Yes, I know Explosive can make Outlaw not trigger, but it really does trigger a lot. I also have, I don't have like a great incandescent one. I think I have like Hip Fire incandescent or Compulsive incandescent, something like that on a different character. So I'm still not, I just don't have like a perfect one of those. This is my Amit. It's good for solar builds. I started using it a little in PvP. I just turned the tracker on. I don't know. I really like it on PC. The stability is kind of nuts. Iterative Loop. I made a PvE one with Volt Shot. The Compulsive Reloader Volt Shot combo is very fun. I have not really been running any arc builds this season, so I haven't used this a ton, but that is one I decided to go all the way and enhance. I've also enhanced Royal Executioner. When you combine Envious with Reservoir Burst, all of the shots above your magazine of 7 do the Reservoir Burst. So you can get this up to, I think, 15. So you have 8 shots with Reservoir Burst. It's very, very good. I really like it a lot. Does this take... This keeps taking my shade. I swear to God, I put shaders on this like 5 times, and it keeps taking them off. That is that slot. This is just another circular logic I have. This one is like my more boss DPS one because it's target lock. I just keep away. I've really been trying to get the only one I haven't really been able to get is Envious Assassin target lock, because those obviously would combine well together. I got tired of farming Terminal Overload, so I stopped looking for it. Throne Cleaver, very, very, very fun with Incandescent. I don't know if it's like the greatest thing ever, but there are a few things more fun than Incandescent. I don't have this enhanced yet. I don't know if it's worth the materials to enhance it, but it is very good. Tireless Blade, I said on Twitter, for the first time this season, I learned that sword ammo granted for every powered sword kill means every sword kill with ammo, not every heavy kill with a sword. Don't know why I thought that, but apparently a lot of other people thought that too. So that is news to me. And I hear like you can pair this with like chain reaction on other swords, and that gives you so much ammo, but interesting thing I did not realize. I have another commemoration, Feeding Frenzy, Firing Line. Those two don't really go together, but using that sometime. This one is supposed to be like a good grenade launcher. Auto-loading Explosive Light. I haven't enhanced it yet, but I can't get... I still don't like how grenade launchers feel. They still don't feel good. And then, of course, Two-Tailed Fox, which now has a third tail with Arc. That was not a fun catalyst to farm up, but I have it now. I have not used it a ton, but, you know, I think it's fun that they did that. Just in terms of overall stuff, I've recently discovered this in the weapon base, but Synthocept Strand, I was using Abeyant Leap for like all the suspend, and suspend is really good, obviously, and probably for higher level content, you want to suspend enemies more than you want to punch them, but Strand Synthocept is extremely fun because the grapple melee turns into this like giant AoE explosion where you can like one-shot champions and yellow bars and stuff with it because of the damage increase, plus you're getting a 50% damage increase on your super, and you're still getting at least some damage increase on glaives, even if it's not what it used to be. Very, very fun. Highly recommend that. All right, moving on to the last class, Hunter, which has been permanently on Strand, essentially. That is not a weapon I actually use. That just got swapped in there when I was switching guns. This is my PvP one. As you can see, I have not used it a ton. Why did I take this out? This is for like a Banshee bounty or something. I'd be curious to see how that performs once the hand cannons get buffed. That's a 180. Final Warning. I've not used this a ton, but I'm hearing it does kind of nuts damage if you really get it going. I've not really been able to get a handle on this whole setup where like you mark targets and then you aim on the sights and they do more damage, and then a fully charged burst unravels them, and like I don't have the rhythm down for this yet. I should probably work on it, but yeah, aiming projectiles of greatly increased velocity and deal extra critical hit damage. So this can shred. It's just not something I'm used to. But Quicksilver Storm, this is insane now. Like, not only did they change it to a strand weapon and it spawns tangles on grenade kills, like they once it restored its 50% red bar buff, it's a monster. It feels amazing. It destroys things, and then now they're going to buff it another 25% in PvE, which is just hilarious. And this genuinely might be the best exotic primary now. I mean, it depends on the situation. I'd put Wishender and like Le Monarch up there too, but this is really up there now. And like, I barely used this in, you know, past seasons when it was still just kinetic, but now it's incredible. Literally one of the best weapons this season for sure. Another glaive. Just been using a lot of glaives lately. This is my best incandescent trust right now. I think I can do better than that. As you can see, I've been putting this shader on like literally everything. This is the Crucible shader from this season. So good, so good. I just finished the pattern for this not that long ago. I don't think this is that great of a pulse rifle. I might be wrong, but yeah, I've been using the Aquila shotgun a lot with Strand because you grapple in, you melee, and then you have triggered trench barrel, and then you shoot them with a bunch of trench barrel shots and they die. So that has been a fun combo on my double grapple hunter here. So I've been using that a lot. Retrofit, Escapade, nutty machine gun. If you're not using Commemoration, you're using this. This is better for boss damage with the enhanced 4th time enhanced target lock. Also, we have all these we have Bricks from Beyond, which is just like unlimited machine gun ammo essentially. And then you can have Volatile Flow on, which I don't have right now, but you're getting volatile rounds on that every time you pick up an orb, which is incredible. What else here? Nothing really out of the ordinary. Gold Tusk, this is the new sword. Can get double damage perks, Assassins and Whirlwinds at the same time, which many swords cannot do that. But yeah, debating whether to enhance that or not. And the rest of these are just kind of leftovers. I don't even think all of these are 1600. I haven't even used these. It's really hard to take off Retrofit, currently at level 61 there. So yeah, those are some of my favorites. Again, I'm missing, raid weapons. I only got the trace rifle from the raid, so I'm waiting to run that again, but I gotta take this thing off. Grave Robber, I'd save this just because it's Grave Robber Pugilist, and I thought that's a fun combo, but gotta change to something good. Anyway, those are my favorites. I might still have some in my vault I'm forgetting about, but let me know what yours are. Let me know if there's something I should try that's like surprisingly good. And of course, if you're watching this like a week from now, there's probably a whole new slate of weapons that are really good after these really significant primary buffs we're doing. So we'll see how that works out. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.